on the planet. The story that I have chosen to read today is The Last Night of the World by Ray Bradbury in his book of short stories known as The Illustrated Man. And the story follows a couple in the 1960s who make a rather startling realization, but their reaction to this realization may be more surprising to you. So I actually read this story in senior year, and I really liked it, and I drew my own opinions from it, but reading it today, I hope you can interpret it as you will. What would you do if you knew this was the last night of the world? What would I do? You mean seriously? Yes, seriously. I don't know, I hadn't thought about it. He poured some coffee. In the background, the two girls were playing blocks on the parlor rug in the light of the green hurricane lamps. There was an easy, clean aroma of brewed coffee in the evening air. Well, better start thinking about it, he said. You don't mean it, do you? He nodded. A war? He shook his head. Not the hydrogen or atom bombs. No. Or germ warfare? No, none of those at all, he said. But let's just say the closing of a book. I don't think I understand. No, nor do I. Really, it's just a feeling. I didn't say anything to you. It first happened about 4 nights ago. What? A dream I had. I didn't think too much about it the next day, but I went into the office and caught Stan Willis looking out the window in the middle of the afternoon. And I said, "A penny for your thoughts, Sam." And he said, "I had a dream last night." And before he even told me that dream, I knew what it was. I could have told him, but he told me, and I listened to him. And it was the same dream? Exactly the same. And they had all dreamed it? All of them. The same dream, with no difference. Do you believe in it? Yes, I've never been more certain. They sat a while, not touching their coffee. Then they lifted it slowly and drank, looking at each other. Do we deserve this? She said. It's not a matter of deserving. It's just that things didn't work out. I noticed you didn't even argue about this. Why not? I guess I have a reason, she said. The same one everyone at the office had? She nodded slowly. I didn't want to say anything. It happened last night. And the women on the block talked about it too, among themselves today. They dreamed. I thought it was only a coincidence. There's nothing in the paper about it. Everyone knows. There's no need to have it in the paper. He sat back in his chair watching her. Are you afraid? No. I always thought I would be, but I'm not. Where's the spirit called self-preservation that they talk so much about, huh? I don't know. You don't get too excited when you feel things are logical. This is logical. We haven't been too bad, have we? No, not enormously good either. I suppose that's the trouble. We haven't been very much of anything except us, while a big part of the world has been busy being lots of quite awful things. They sat for a moment, and then he poured himself another coffee. Why do you suppose it's happening tonight? Because, she said. Well, he said, getting up, what shall it be? Washing the dishes? They washed the dishes and stacked them away with special neatness. Well, he said at last, he kissed his wife for a long time. We've been good to each other, anyways. Do you want to cry, she said. I don't think so. They moved through the house and turned out all the lights, went into the bedroom like it was a normal night. They stood in the cool darkness and undressed, pushing back the covers. The sheets are so clean and nice. They got into bed and lay back. Just a moment, she said. He heard her get out of bed and go running into the kitchen. A moment later, she returned. I left the water running in the sink, she said. Something about this was so funny that he had to laugh. She laughed with him, knowing what she had done was funny. They stopped laughing, and at last they lay in their cool night beds, their hands clasped and their heads together. Good night, he said, after a moment. Good night, she said.